we take you inside war-torn Aleppo, Syria, for a rare glimpse at a place where violence and chaos has been the norm for years. Competing armed forces have the city under constant siege, and caught in the middle of it are families who only want to live in peace. Here's ABC's Alex Marquardt.
Aleppo, Syria's biggest city and commercial center, has become the symbol of the country's war, epitomizing the suffering of a people and setting up the pivotal battle that could very well decide the outcome of this war. Divided in two, government forces in the west, the rebels in the east, the sides have waged a savage fight for control. Once home to nearly 3 million people, this ancient city today is a shell of its former self. Then in mid-November, President Bashar al-Assad's forces launched an all-out assault, hoping to retake the city once and for all. We're driving through block after block of utter destruction. These are what the government calls the liberated areas, the areas that they've retaken with their forces. And we're heading to one that's incredibly symbolic. It's called Hanano. It's the first district that the rebels took 4 years ago. There's something eerie about Hanano. Despite the sounds of war, there's an unsettling silence. In many places, a virtual ghost town. But some families are now daring to return. This is the main gathering area for people who live in this part of town. Here they can come and get food and warm drinks from aid agencies, but they also come here to register, to let the local authorities know that they're going home. Here we meet Ahmad Mardinli, bringing his sons to see their home for the first time in 4 years. How eager are they to get home?
كتير 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 يعني إنه بيتهم أغراضهم منطقتهم مدرستهم.
Ahmad is a government worker who fled the neighborhood with his family when the rebels took control. 4-year-old Majid was just months old.
Majid was born in 2012, so he has only ever known war. He's never lived here.
We walk 5 bombed-out blocks to their building and up the stairs to their front door.
You see here they built a brick wall in front of the door to protect it while they were away for these past 4 years.
Beyond this door, they hope to find the remainders of their old life. As the Arab Spring swept through the Middle East in 2011, Syrians began protesting their government. Assad tightened his grip on the country. Security forces brutally cracking down on protesters. By then, Syria was in the throes of a civil war. From there, the country descended into chaos. Rebels and pro-government forces fighting a civil war were soon backed by major foreign powers. Iran, Russia, the US, Saudi Arabia, among others, turning it into an international proxy war. And at the heart of the conflict, Aleppo. Some of the fiercest street fighting of the war has taken place here. Extraordinary amounts of blood spilled as the front lines moved only inches. The city's streets and buildings, including some of the most historic in the world, bearing the scars of this brutal fight. These images from 2013, filmed by residents of the war-torn city, caught in the crossfire using cameras provided by ABC News. Scenes like this unfolding nearly every day. Since then, the conflict has only worsened. Over 450,000 killed. 11 million Syrians, more than half the population, have fled their homes, creating one of the worst refugee crises in modern history. Nightline tracking some of those difficult journeys, risking all they had left in order to reach Europe across land, and even trusting smugglers and rickety, overcrowded boats to cross the Mediterranean Sea in hopes of a better life. Meanwhile, Syria falling into further destruction with the birth of ISIS, a radical and brutal Muslim terror group that declared itself an Islamic State or caliphate, working to tear down anyone or anything that counters their extremist ideology, even destroying treasured antiquities from ancient civilizations. And then the frantic effort in Syria to save what's left.
Because Damascus is the most secure city in the country, all the artifacts that are at risk are brought here to the National Museum. And so we're on our way to meet the team whose job it is to go out, rescue those treasures.
These young archaeologists working to save hundreds of thousands of precious artifacts.
How valuable are these pieces
in Syrian archaeology?
You deserve a lot.
They're priceless.
Yes.
This is from 3000 BC.
Yes.
This is a hive of activity in here. It's very methodical, but they're moving very fast like a production line.
So much destroyed, so much in ruins. Today's picture of Aleppo embodying a people who have suffered so greatly. It's here that we meet Samir Dawalibi, who had fled 2 years ago. He's just returned to find his home like this. Doors and windows blown off, the TV and AC stolen off the walls.
How does it make you feel to come back in here and see your home like this?
I am very happy, but I not expected this destroyed.
And out on the street, constant reminders of the war still raging nearby. A bittersweet mix of homecoming and despair.
Yesterday I sleep here
For the first time.
for the first time.
Does it feel good to be home? It feels good to be at home?
Yes, yes, yes. This is my house, my memory.
For the Mardinli family, there's light at the top of the staircase. The wall their father built to protect their home did what it was designed to do, keeping many of their precious belongings intact. The boys overjoyed to rediscover lost treasures. A transformer, a Tweety bird, in this small corner of Aleppo, a fragile and hard-won sense of normalcy.
It seems like you prepared quite well for the day you would come back. You knew that you would come home one day?
But those happy moments are rare around here.
This large group of people was chasing after this empty bus, and we've spoken to several, and essentially they came back here, they saw the conditions that their destroyed homes were in, decided that there was nothing here for them, and are now taking this bus back out of this neighborhood yet again.
And elsewhere in eastern Aleppo tonight, tens of thousands, maybe more, still caught in the middle of this fighting, as fierce as ever. For Nightline, I'm Alex Marquardt in Aleppo, Syria.
As fierce as ever. Our thanks to Alex for that report.